Hello friends. I have moved slightly from that last clip because there are a lot of people coming and going and I was closer to the road than I really thought about and it was kind of loud. Anyways, I rode my bike to a park. This is something I've been trying to do like at least once a week just to get out of the house. My mental health's not been great, so just trying to go somewhere that feels safe-ish, but is not my house. Just to be somewhere that is not my house. My bag's about to fall. Anyways, so I brought you along. I obviously didn't record the full ride because I wouldn't even know how to attempt to do that without dying. There's a very loud bird. So I thought I would do a little reading or read with me vlog while I was here, and maybe you'll enjoy this very loud bird while I read. But I also thought I would maybe show you what I pack in and on my bike, so we'll do that first, I suppose. So this is my bike. This is like my favorite color, this like maroon red color, and the bike is kind of close to it too. It's a little more purple, but I just really like this color. And then I have this little, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like a saddlebag situation. So there's two bags on either side of the tube, and then on top. This is technically supposed to be for your phone, which my phone is in there. I just don't put it here because it gets like really hot in this plastic sleeve, and I just find it protects it, like the screen and stuff, a little bit more when it's covered. And then in this pocket, I usually keep a mask or something, but I'm wearing one right now. And then a knife. And then this pocket here has, you can't see it. It's so shadowy and dark, I apologize. It's just my bike lock in here. And then sometimes I just keep random crap in these side pockets. And then my backpack. So this used to be my gym bag, and I just got random buttons on it. So some Bob's Burgers buttons. Sailor Moon, hydration is important, self-care. I don't listen to that. A very loud motorized bike. A very loud bird. People walking by, judging me. I'll wait for this loud bike to go by, I suppose. So I've had this water bottle for a while. It's like a, actually I think I need to do it this way. It's like a collapsible water bottle. But when I moved, I lost the cap for it, and a local place was giving out replacement caps for free. So I just recently got this new cap, and I put a carabiner on it so I could attach it to my backpack. So I gotta, oh my god, these birds are so loud. Tissues. And then some random gym stuff, so wrist wraps. Is this chapstick? Because if it is, I need it. Chapstick that has like very much melted because it's been in an outside shed for a year. My headphones charging, and then I have like my ID and my credit card in case I don't know, need to go to the like gas station or something. Obviously not for gas because I'm on my bicycle, but for, I don't know, a drink or something. Who knows? I don't know. And then in this big pocket, this is like a two-sided bag, and then I have another bag that is kind of more padded, and this is what I keep my camera in so it doesn't rattle around and get beaten up too much. And then another hat, just to extra padding for the camera. In here is some more gym crap that I don't use, and then a highlighter, a charger that I was using for the camera because my battery was almost dead, a book, and then I have like a flatter pocket in here, and that's where I keep the like tripod stand for the camera. Anyways, so that's what I've been packing in my bike bag. Adds a little bit of weight to my ride, but that's probably not a bad thing. The city I live in is like incredibly hilly, so this park is like, it's got a little bit of hills, but it's not too terrible. So I'm hoping like constantly doing loops around this slightly hilly but not deathly hilly section. I can build up my cardio a little bit, so maybe I can actually go other places with bigger hills. Anyways, a little weight on my back isn't a bad thing. So anyways, let's read. Sorry, this is starting in the middle of me reading. I had to cut out the first 4 minutes of the reading clip because there was some sensitive information that was showing, and I could not easily censor it. So we're starting like 2 pages in. I forgot to bring a pencil with me so I could write notes. So I've read a little bit more of Caste since I last did my last vlog. And so I'm just reading I'm in chapter 5 now, and I was starting to wonder if there were going to be like, what is the word for it? Ethnographs, maybe? In The Warmth of Other Suns, she talks and interviews people and then tells their story throughout the book. And I was wondering if there were going to be specific people's stories or if it was going to be a more, not broad necessarily, but like statistical nonfiction. But I've finally reached like a person's story. But it is about a woman named Miss, a black woman named Miss in the 70s in Texas. And she went to, what did she do? What was it? She spent the summer with a family of a fellow student in Long Island, New York. She grew up in Texas, and there's this section here that really sticks out to me. Gosh, I guess I have to explain it though. She was named Miss because white folks would not use honorifics with black folks in the South. So they wouldn't call them Miss, Mr., etc. They would all be, you know, girl, boy, auntie, stuff like that. So he named his daughter Miss specifically to force white folks to call her his daughter an honorable name. So anyways, she went to Long Island for the summer in college, and she got attached to the grandma of this family, and the grandma says, "I wish you would stay," and Miss reminded her that she needed to be leaving. And then the grandma says, "There was a time," the matriarch said, "in warning and regret, when I could have made you stay." She adjusted herself, her voice trailing off at her impotence. Of course, and so what sticks out to me is because earlier she talks about how the family welcomed her and got a kick out of her name, and how her family had stuck it to those bigots down south. So that is what the family from Long Island is thinking. Yet this conversation she has with the grandma highlights that like racism and what she's calling the caste system in this book is not only in the South. It is a thing that is, I don't want to say ingrained, but like you were raised so thoroughly in this system that as a white person, things you say continue to prop up this system, even if you're not like actively thinking that black people are less than you or whatever. This exchange between Miss and the grandma highlights like there is still this like unconscious seeing of oneself as a white person as better or more important than a black person. Recognizing that at some point this grandma would have had the power to make Miss stay because that was her will as a white woman, you know? I don't know if I really got my thoughts across in an adequate way, but I don't know. It's just a very interesting little exchange here because these people think of themselves as good or better than Southerners, and specifically white Southerners, but they still hold similar unconscious hierarchies in their head, whether they know it or not, whether they acknowledge it or not. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. So I just read the last 2.5 pages of this chapter, and Isabel tells a story about how she was going to have this interview with a man for a New York Times article she was writing. And she's waiting for him, he's running late, and when he comes in, she's like, let's do the interview, basically. And he's like, I'm waiting for someone, I can't talk to you right now, I'm waiting for someone with the New York Times, it's very important. And she's like, that's me. And he like will not believe her. He's like asking for identification, proof that she works with the New York Times. He just will not believe that she is the person he is rushing to meet. Each of us is in a container of some kind. The label signals to the world what is presumed to be inside and what is to be done with it. The label tells you which shelf your container supposedly belongs on. In a caste system, the label is frequently out of sync with the contents, mistakenly put on the wrong shelf, and this hurts people and institutions in ways we may not always know. So that's the beginning of the story, and then she comes back and talks about how he could not believe that she was who she said she was because it didn't match with what he saw on the outside, basically. Where did it go? She like summed it up. Where'd it go? His caste notions of who should be doing what in society had so blinded him that he dismissed the idea that the reporter he was anxiously awaiting, excited to talk to, was standing right in front of him. It seemed not to occur to him that a New York Times national correspondent could come in a container such as mine, despite every indication that she was. And so she publishes the story, but the thing that I really reacted to was she didn't mention him in the story because obviously she didn't get the interview. And she says, it would have amounted to a nice bit of publicity for him, but the other interviews made it unnecessary in the end. I sent him a clip of the piece along with the business card that he had asked for. To this day, I won't step inside the retailer. I will not mention the name, not because of censorship or the desire to protect any company's reputation, but because our cultural tendency to believe that if we just identified the presumed to be rare, offending outlier, we will have rooted out the problem. The problem could have happened any place because the problem is, in fact, at the root. Okay. So wow, that is like, wow. Hi, sorry for the bad lighting. I just wanted to pop in real quick and say I had more thoughts here, and I was kind of talking about the like self-censorship talk that's been going on with regards to cancel culture, but my thoughts were not coherent, and I honestly still can't really put them in a coherent way that actually connects to this book. It was just something that kind of popped into my head when I read it, and kind of got a reaction out of me. But I really don't want to get too into it, and the original clip was just an incoherent mess because there were people coming and going and my battery was dying and I wanted to make sure I said everything, but what I said was a mess. Anyways, so I just wanted to pop in here and kind of temper the weird cut. So, anyways, I'm just going to read that one chapter. I've been struggling to pick this up lately. Again, I think that's more mental health stuff than like the book being bad, because obviously I'm having reactions when I read it. It just takes a lot more brain capacity to read a nonfiction like this than something nonfiction and easy. I will probably listen to an audiobook on my ride back to the house. I just started Going Clear, which has been on my TBR for like 300 years. And I just decided, I was like, I wanted to listen to something about Scientology, and I was like looking for YouTube videos, and then I realized I could just listen to this as an audiobook. So that's what I'm going to listen to on my bike ride home. I guess I'll see y'all next week. Bye.